Once again, I am the Outlaw, and we're here to shoot TNA Impact. So, again, I'm not going to cover every match. I'm just going to cover the stuff that I felt was important. So, let's get it started. I'm going to start with the six-woman tag. We had Masha Slamovich, Sol Ruka, and Jordan Grace taking on Tasha Steelz, Wendy Chu, and Rosemary. First, let me say, the original gimmick that Wendy Chu ran with in NXT 2.0 and really for a little bit after they got rid of the 2.0 stuff, I wasn't a fan of. I didn't like the whole sleepy. No, that I didn't vibe with that. Like I kind of hate it. I just kind of hate it. I really hated it. Thought it was dumb. I was 100% not a big fan of Wendy Chu. But I will say this, the Sleep Demon, Wendy Chu, I absolutely am learning to pop for. I'm way more a fan of that. And teaming her with Rosemary, absolutely perfect. I love what they're doing, not just in TNA, but in NXT as well. And I also like the fact that, okay, Sol Ruka and Wendy Chu aren't exactly in storylines in NXT right now. So what do? Let them go to TNA and do their thing there. I love. I hope that we have more. That we get a lot more of this. We get more crossovers. It's really a great thing for NXT with the roster they have. Someone's not doing something, they're not in a big storyline. Cool. Let them go down to TNA and do their thing, and vice versa. If there's people, in TNA who aren't really doing anything, and have them go up to NXT and do something up there. I absolutely love this agreement, arrangement, whatever it is, with TNA. This was a really solid match with really good moments, but you can kind of tell as the match progressed, especially the finish, that they're really building TNA is for Slamovich versus Jordan Grace, which Jordan Grace picks up the win, and you can see the tension between the two. And actually, later on in the show, in a backstage segment, we saw the return of Masha Slamovich's kill list. And we saw, right there, smack dab in the middle of the kill list, Jordan Grace, which led to Jordan Grace coming out and calling out Masha about the kill list. And this really good promo about, between the two, and Masha saying, hey, we had one of the greatest matches in TNA women's history, but that she's been living in her shadow since then. And that at Bound for Glory, that it'll be Slamovich versus Jordan Grace, and that when Slamovich beats Jordan Grace, Jordan will live in Slamovich's shadow. I love that. And a real world feel. They reference the Russian angle that Slamovich had, which was whatever. But let's move on. Then we had a three-way match, or a triple threat. They don't call it triple threat outside of WWE, but they call it a three-way match, a three-way number one contenders match to a Speedball Mike Bailey for the X Division champion. We had Leon Slater, Laredo Kid, and I forget the guy's name. He's a part of the Good Hands. I apologize for that, but this was a really good, fast-paced match, which realistically is kind of the sweet spot for the X Division. Yeah, every once in a while you'll get a big guy come in there and do a little bit, but realistically, the X Division is at its best when it's fast and chaotic. In a match that was won by Leon Slater, and Leon Slater has one of the most unique finishing moves I think I've ever seen. The Senton 450. It looks ridiculous, and I really enjoyed it. Then we're gonna get to Mike Santana coming out, calling out Moose. Moose coming out, but doing the absolute biggest heel thing, insulting the town and bringing out his security. Then you had Mike Santana and Moose having a little promo back and forth. Santana being like, hey, we came up the same. You just forgot where you came from. You sold out. And and Moose saying you're absolutely right. I sold out. I will say this. I 100% think that somebody, either somebody else in the system or a manager, someone else needs to talk for Moose. Moose is really good in the ring. He's solid in the ring. He does not cut great promos. It is not good for me. I hate hearing Moose talk. Then then we have the ABC and the Hardys do their thing. In a match that was really supposed to happen later, but the Hardys and ABC came out to help Mike Santana after he was jumped by the system, and he told the system that, hey, this match could have tag team implications for Bound for Glory, and what happens? Match is going great, great match between two great teams, and the system comes out and attacks. So then Santino, the director of Authority, comes out and says, "Oh no, we're gonna have a three-way dance between the system, the Hardys, and ABC, and we're gonna go Full Metal Mayhem." That match is gonna absolutely slap. I'm really looking forward to it. And then let's get to the final part of this review. When earlier in the night we had Ryan Nemeth, or some people know him, Dolph Ziggler, and his opponent, by virtue of winning the number one contenders match the week before, none other than Joe Hendry. So Bound for Glory, Ziggler, that was his WWE name. Ryan, that's his brother. Sorry, Nick Nemeth versus Joe Hendry, 1-on-1 for the TNA World Title. And this is the question that I'm going to pose, and drop a comment in the comments section. Who's more over? Is it L.A. Knight, yeah? Or is it Joe Hendry? Are you part of the yeah? Or do you believe? But as we're going back and forth, mutual respect, whatever. First Class comes out doing the typical heel stuff, saying we're the main event, and that and AJ Francis taking credit for everything, for all the heights of Joe's career, and Joe popping off a few lines from a couple of the ridiculous songs that he sung about AJ, which led to the main event, First Class versus Nemeth and Joe Hendry, a match that was won by, not surprisingly, AJ was won by Nick Nemeth and Joe Hendry. They had a little bit of play on words, or not only play on words, but a little play on moves here. Joe Hendry hitting the danger zone, and Nick Nemeth hitting the standing ovation. Here's another question, and again, in the comments, answer this. Who has a better choke slam? Is it the standing ovation, or is it the choke slam that Obafemi hits? I kind of go Obafemi. Don't get me wrong, Joe Hendry has a great choke slam. The standing ovation is great. I just don't know. I just don't think it's better than Obafemi's. But that was me shooting TNA Impact. I'll catch y'all later.